Today's episode is brought to you by DeSanto Propane. DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. All right, today we are previewing an event taking place in Wayne County in less than 1 week. That event is the Liberty Conference of Wayne County, happening on April 21st. The goal is to give parents information about their rights when it comes to what organizers call encroachments on fundamental rights. Joining me to discuss it is Jennifer Williams, chairperson of the Wayne County Moms for Liberty chapter. Walk us through what the organization is and how you got involved.
Sure. I'm involved with Moms for Liberty. I am the chapter chair of the Wayne County chapter. So it's Moms for Liberty, Wayne County, New York. And we got Moms for Liberty. I mean, there's a lot of ideas out there of what we are, but I can tell you as someone who participates actively in the organization, we are just dedicated to the survival of America by unifying, educating, and empowering parents to defend their parental rights at all levels of government. That is our actual mission statement. And there we do have a code of conduct that makes sure that we do that as a joyful warrior. That is our mantra. We're not hateful people. We are only in this space, honestly, because we are parents who are concerned about what we're leaving for our children, what they're actually going through right now in the public education arena, and then also what state of the country are we going to leave them in as we progress in this life?
Absolutely. Core issues, when someone asks you kind of like what a few of the bigger issues are that you guys are concerned about or trying to fight for, I know getting folks actually involved in something as, I'll say it, boring as Board of Education meetings. I know that's up. I know that ranks up there. So talk to us about what some of the things are that you guys are trying to get people engaged with.
Well, when you said the Board of Education meetings, that's 100%. The focus is trying to get people to participate in their local government, starting with their local school boards. If you want to know what's going on in your school, then you should know who the people are who are the decision makers, and that school board is the governing body of your school. So you should know who they are and how they do their job. And there's laws that dictate how they do that. So there's no room for interpretation there. And so if there is something that's happening in your schools that you are concerned with or you're not familiar with, that's where you go to and have conversations with them. And the heart, like you said, they're meetings. They're public meetings or government meetings. There's not a lot of hoopla. I mean, there's not a lot of fanfare. You know, they don't serve coffee and welcome you in, so to speak, in that. It's an official meeting, but you should know who's working with your children, because you're sending your kids to these schools every day. And so I try to tell people, don't let your first interaction with a school be with something that you're upset about. If, something's going on and that's the first time you meet your teachers or your counselors or your principals, your school board members, you're kind of behind the 8 ball. So it's really imperative that you know what's going on in your schools, know these players, know who the people are, so that when you do have a problem, you already have that established relationship, and they're not going to be concerned with, oh my gosh, are they going to, it's going to be a horrific meeting. They're going to be awful. They're going to yell at me and everything else. No. If you humanize each other, because we are neighbors, we are living in this community, then know that when a parent comes in, or hopefully the idea would be, if you find something that's going on in the schools that you're upset with or concerned with, you already have that relationship with them. So you're going to come in and have a friendly conversation and hopefully have some sort of resolution, at the end of that meeting, so I think there was not necessarily confusion, but there's a lot of still, PTSD coming out of COVID when, the mandates and the lockdowns and kids weren't in school and parents were frustrated. There was a lot of frustration, and that came out for the first time. And so we didn't know how to talk to each other. And so I think there's some of that residual that's kind of like makes people flinch, like,
Yeah.
parents calling me, what do they want, and,
Yeah.
but, or I can't get a hold of my school board member. Why are they not returning my call? Well, do the work,
Yep.
have a relationship with these people. And so when you do have an issue, it's hopefully resolved.
I'm curious what I know you guys have been around for a little bit here. What has the feedback been like from the communities that you're working in? Because I mean, obviously, Wayne County is your kind of classic upstate rural county in that the school districts are rural, very spread out, and trying to organize across an entire county like that comes with its challenges. What
Right.
kind of success have you guys found along the way here, engaging with parents in different school districts?
It's a mixed bag. Gotta be honest.
Yeah.
We kind of came in thinking that we would have a warmer reception in some avenues, but that hasn't always been the case. So because of the media hype of who people think that we are, and then also I'm astonished. I mean, because I know who we are, but self-awareness. There's still a lot of people who don't know who Moms for Liberty are and what we do. And so I spend a lot of time just educating people like what we're here for. We're just parent advocates. We're not. And then there's a lot of parents who are active in their local school districts, but they have a lot of questions about how the system runs and what can they do and all that. And so we're not coming in there to tell them what to do. We're just a resource for them. Like if there's a lot of questions about curriculum and what's being taught in the schools. Well, if you can't get answers by emailing or having conversations, you can do Freedom of Information Act requests. Well, that's not something that, you can pull out of your back pocket and people know how to do those. So we are a resource that we can help parents to understand how to best craft those types of requests and who to send them to in their school districts and the laws that dictate all of that. So, or even just, they don't even know sometimes they don't know where their school board meetings are because some of the websites are kind of cryptic and you can't get to them. So we're here to fill in that gap and say, oh, you're at Red Creek. Your school board meeting is on this day and this at this time, and this is the room you go to. So and as far as the administrators and the school board members, I have a very respectful relationship with all of them. I know, we're on social media, and so we get hate. People come in there and say that we're this and we're that, and we don't love people, we don't accept people for who they are. Well, these are obviously from people who don't know me or what Moms for Liberty is. Because if you would go and talk to any superintendent or school board member, they will tell you. Sometimes they'll say that they don't agree with what we stand for, but they can't tell you that we're hateful or that we're against anybody because we work really hard because I am a mom. I have children who are looking at me, and that's not who I am anyway. I'm not an agitator. So while we're just out there having the conversations and we don't have the same point of view as some of the people who are running the schools, but that doesn't mean that we don't get along and we can't be respectful.
Fair. And also just filling that void that's existed for a really long time, being a liaison between members of the community and, the folks who are actually making decisions. So obviously the reason why we're talking is the event that's coming up on April 21st. Give us the 411 on that, what's happening and what can people expect?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that. We're so excited. It's been months in the making. It is April 21st, and we're calling it the Liberty Conference of Wayne County, New York. It is going to be at East Palmyra Christian School, which is located at 2023 Palmyra Port Gibson Road. There's a lot of P's in there. In East Palmyra. The event starts officially at 5 p.m. We're going to have a food truck and organizational type vendors there. We're not necessarily selling things, but a lot of information. There's a lot of different organizations who are coming to offer more resources for people. We're partnering with Frederick Douglass Foundation, and they have a lot of educational initiatives for the community. Turning Point USA, Help Not Harm, they're a parent group out of Canandaigua. They're going to be there. And then Feed My Sheep, these are just some examples of the types of vendors that we're going to have there. They have information about what's referred to as social emotional learning, the framework that's in our schools. They'll be there to give answers and some feedback to people. So that's from 5 to 6:30. Food truck and vendors. Our main event starts at 6:30, and we are so excited that we were able to book Steve Deace from Blaze TV. He's going to be our keynote speaker. And if you've been out to the movie theater this weekend, you might have seen the movie Nefarious. He is a producer, writer behind that movie. So to have someone like that coming to, talk to us in Wayne County is very exciting. So he starts at 6:30, and then we're going to have a discussion panel afterwards. Joe Pinion, formerly of Newsmax and former candidate for Senate this past election cycle. Our own Brian Mangtolo, our assemblyman, will be there. And then also we have Reverend Dean Nelson from Frederick Douglass National and the Douglass Leadership Institute. He will be there. And this whole theme of our event is helping to inspire, empower, and equip people to participate in their local government. So that's what the whole speaking engagement is going to be about. And then with that question answer section afterwards, it'll be, you can come and ask the panel and Steve Deace questions about how to better work within our local governments and how to go about that.
It's interesting because it sounds like you guys are doing a lot of the grassroots organizing in a county like Wayne that maybe just hasn't happened in recent years, whether it be because of the pandemic or just kind of complacency. Having covered Wayne County and Seneca County and Ontario County for a long time, I know there's complacency that sets in a lot of these communities, and it's interesting to see what you guys are doing. How can folks get involved in your organization if somebody wants to not just show up for the event itself, but maybe become part of the process here, become part of the solution?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Well, we have a website. It's kind of a longer extension, but it's momsforliberty.org. And then when you go to that website, probably the easiest way is they have a map that shows you where all the chapters are across the country. Click to New York, you'll find Wayne, and then click into that. But we also have an email, which is Wayne, New York, NY, moms for the number 4, liberty @gmail.com. So Wayne, New York, Wayne, NY, moms, number 4, liberty @gmail.com. Email us there. And we will definitely be in contact with you and tell you about our meetings moving forward or any information that you might have or what you might want.
Right. Absolutely. My last question for you here. When you're thinking about an event like this one, obviously you guys have put a lot of time into this, put a lot of effort into making it happen. What does success look like? How do you gauge success? And then what happens after that? I guess the broader part of that question is, what are the long-term plans for the chapter?
That's such a great question because I think about that all the time. And we're always trying to promote engagement. It's always about education, about, that we are here. There is someone here. And I love what you said as far as, we do feel like we're standing in the gap and that there has been complacency. I don't want to be negative about that, but I mean, I can say that because I was that person. That's why I am doing what I'm doing right now is I realize, holy stinking cow, there's a lot going on at the local level and I know nothing. So I can't complain if I'm not going to be part of the solution. So we definitely want people to attend our event and hopefully come away inspired to know, what, this isn't as daunting as I thought it was. This isn't as hard as I thought it was. And more importantly, I'm not as alone as I thought I was. There are so many people who are looking for ways to participate, but don't know where to start. And we would love to stand in the gap right there and to give them direction. While I love Moms for Liberty and what we stand for, I do understand that not everybody wants to get into the Board of Education level. That's why we're going to have other organizations who can help you get involved either in like town or county or even state level government to fill in the gap that way.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, Jennifer. I'm sure we'll be talking again here soon. Best of luck this weekend with the entire event.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time.
That'll do it for this edition of Finger Lakes Today. If you'd like to see more conversations like this one, check out the show on your favorite podcast platform or subscribe to the FingerLakes1.com YouTube channel. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.